Well, I first got my hands on the tuna about 4 years ago now. As soon as I opened that bag, I just knew it was going to be a winner. It just smelled like that big fish smell, you know, that old school like fish meal smell, and plus it's real soft as well. I like that in a bait, and yeah, as soon as I started using it, I was catching from the off. I mean, now I'm travelling a lot further now for my carp fishing. I mean, last year I was fishing in Norfolk, and that's a good hour-and-a-half drive for me. So I needed that bait what I had confidence in, and I knew it was going to work from the off. And I mean, with the tuna, because it's got that instant attraction, I don't have to pre-bait with it, so that makes it even better. I mean, when I was fishing in Norfolk last year on the Syndicate Lake, by steady applying the bait, I was going from catching 1 or 2 fish a night to 6 or 7 fish a night. By steady introducing the tuna, my captures really reflected on it. I mean, by the end of the year, I've done something like 22 nights for near on 90 fish. By the end of it, I mean, they were really tuned into the tuna. I mean, I was lucky enough to catch the biggest fish on the first night, a fish called Royd at 46 pounds, but throughout the year, I did catch some really old Norfolk fish, some really memorable catches, a fish called Diesel, Off the Mark, Crinkle Tail, some proper really nice old fish. I mean, the tuna is brilliant straight out of the bag, but I mean, personally, I like the response in fish. What I do the night before I go, get my baits out the freezer, give them a good glazing with the response in fish. By the time I get to them in the morning, they're just full of attraction. Hook baits. I mean, I personally use a hardened hook bait. The reason I do this is more resilient, so it's still on the hair in the morning. And I also add a little mini bites, just to give it a fleck of colour. So if I'm fishing over large quantities of bait, it stands out a little bit better, and it'll probably get that bite a little bit quicker. So more recently, I've been fishing a lot closer to home, as is the 6 weeks holiday. I've been doing just day sessions or quick overnighters. I turned up last night, fishing this little bay where I am now. Saw a few fish in the area, so I put out a few kilos to a siltier area. Last night was a real productive night for me. I caught a real old common, fish that hadn't been out for like 2.5 years, 34 pound. Really happy with that. Yeah, so at first light, the same rod is absolutely ripped off. The rod's pulled round, the swing has slammed up to the rod. I picked it up, it's flat rodded me, and I knew straight away it was a good fish. Anyway, after a few hairy minutes, I've got it in the net, and I could see it was like a proper big common, colossal. And yeah, up on the scales it went just over 40 pound. So I mean, after doing the photos of that old fish, I was absolutely buzzing. It's now mid-morning, and unfortunately I've got to wrap things up. So what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of tuna before I go. So if I do get an opportunity to come back next week or the week after, I know my spots are prime.